Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. The last message of the day of the weekend in these beginning weeks of 2020. The theme this day seems to be togetherness and coherence. A theme that you would think is not that new. But what I want to tell you that in today's energy, it's very different. For many years, if not centuries, there have been those who understood the light that would come together, sometimes secretly, sometimes openly, depending upon the culture where they were and whether they were part of a system. And they would, what I will call, hold vigilance for the planet. And there would be the same kind of thanks that Adirondack has asked for. There would be prayers for those who were suffering, or perhaps during the wars. There would be a lot of sending of energy and good thoughts represented. And what we wish to tell you, dear ones, it's not a new idea. That together you are powerful, and that your thoughts did something, they went someplace, somehow. But now suddenly, with the appearance of this new energy, there is a formation, perhaps of that which is before you in a succinct manner that is starting to make sense of why it works. And when you start to understand that there is a system involved, and suddenly the system is graduating to a place where you can feel it and understand it and work with it, it makes a difference. But more than that, today your thoughts, old souls and light workers who wish to listen to this, have more power than they've ever had before. Power. The power to go someplace and soothe. The power to be recognized all across the world by those who don't even know what they're feeling. Now you know about the field, and you're beginning to measure it and beginning to talk about it. Now you know about the nodes and the nulls that have only recently been matched. That's a machine, dear ones, an esoteric, beautiful machine. And I want you to think of something, a metaphor of that machine pouring into this planet, a coating. Perhaps you can see it in your own metaphysical, metaphorical eyes, a coating. And the coating we're going to call transference, and it goes all around the globe and coats it with something new. That coating of transference is an allowance that has never been there before for an energy that has also never been there before, where the thoughts and the prayers and the manifestations of a few can change the whole planet, where coherence is so much easier, and where the few can start to generate something like this group or those listening, where not only is peace being sent to soothe the hearts and the souls of those who need it around this planet, but also compassion. And then information. Not raw information like in a book. I'll call it the information of love. What it's like to be able not to just be soothed, but to have the tools to continue that and come out of things faster and easier, of grief and hardship. It's new. And so this exercise that you went through just a moment ago, beautiful, where you were asked to have planetary influence, is no longer what it was. I'm telling you that it's only months old. A coding of transference, a new word in that context, means that the transfer of energy is instantaneous. Goes around the planet from a few to the many, and they feel it. Almost so much that they can see you doing it. They can see the hands raised in prayer and thanks, and something happens. The field is affected, the potentials are changed, and the lives that are lost start to mean something. That's who you are. It's only begun. And there will be experiments conducted, like there have been in the past, with amazing results, about how your energy of compassion is transmitted almost instantaneously to those who need it all around this planet, who suffer and cry and are depressed, and suddenly they're not. And they can't tell you why, but you're going to sit here and know why. Because it works. Because it works. Because it works. Welcome to a new world where you mean something. And if you're one who sits here and has very little self-worth because of the things you've gone through or those who've told you things, I want to tell you something. This alone establishes your worth. No matter what age you are or your gender or who you think you are, old soul, you've been through it. And that creates wisdom, energy, maturity, and an engine of transmission of peace and beauty. Makes a difference and goes right on that new grid. That's who you are. I want you to think for yourself that you're standing tall. You mean something. It's why you're here. I want you to take that home with you. And when you think of these things, in order to then place compassion on the grid, I want you to see results. I want you to visualize someone in trouble who then isn't. Someone who is suffering with grief who then suddenly isn't. Because they have something that's overcome them. And they don't know what it is, but they're feeling so much better about themselves and life and what's happened. And you can sit there alone in your bedroom and smile and say, it works. Because it does. Something very old, a principle, a prayer of sending energy is now becoming something you never expected. That is one of the reasons the Nodes and the Nulls are here. And that is another reason why the consciousness of this planet is raising. It's all about helping the planet and others. It's starting to go beyond that metaphysical idea that you've had that's so strange to many about thought making a difference and you making a difference. Welcome to a new energy, dear ones, that you control. The energy of compassion and love and transference of energy. It's very needed right now on this planet. Stand tall in your worth. That's who you are. That's who you are. I am Kryon, in love with humanity. And you're getting a better idea why. And that's enough for now. And so it is.